Welcome back to Ahsoka Chronicles, CouchSoup's coverage of the Ahsoka series on Disney Plus. We are now looking at episode 5, and in these weekly reviews and recaps and reactions, we have been kind of waiting for some stuff like this. So say hello to the panel who's going to be talking with us today. Back again, we have the pontiff of the Church of the Blue Booty, Lily Kay.
Hello there.
Always looking for the kill count for Chopper, Brandy.
What's up?
And joining us in place of our beloved Tom, who is going to be missing a couple of episodes, is...
Shut up, Tom.
Shut up, Tom. Fuck off.
Is one of the funniest guys that you'll ever meet on a panel, Ian.
No pressure.
That's begging pressure, isn't it?
And you have seen Ian's work on the website. If you haven't, you need to go and read his articles where he is also reviewing and reacting to the episodes each week as well. So let's start with some non-spoiler reactions, and I'm going to take it. Okay.
Because we have Stef as well, because she forgot to introduce
Hi.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
introduce myself. I'm just here. I just do the thing. Hi,
I
I'm Steph.
just work carrots.
I just
Fine.
do-
Hi. So we have Stef as well.
Steph always on the look for Ezra. Yes.
There you go.
Let's start with some non-spoiler just reactions to this episode, and we're going to go to Ian first on this one.
I thought there was a lot of stuff in there that we were sort of waiting to see, but also a lot of stuff that like normies who don't know Rebels and the Clone Wars will be like, what the fuck? I have no idea what's going on. Someone's got to explain this to me. This is why we're here, but also could be a bit jarring for people. That's my main thoughts.
Brandy, what are you thinking? I see you nodding there.
I mean, I wish I had been in the theaters. Like, they had this episode showing in multiple theaters across the US and some across the world, actually. And I was like, oh, this would have been amazing in theaters. It had a lot of good visuals, a lot of really cool visuals. A lot of things that I had been wanting to see. But again, as a fan, I understood everything that was going on. So I kind of agree with Ian. Like, if you're going in this like cold, like, you know, my poor father who tried to watch the first episode of Ahsoka with me, and he was like, who's Ahsoka? What's happening? And I'm like,
Right.
okay, all right. So I actually signed him up. Nobody say anything. He's watching stuff on my Disney channel. And you know, he's watching Clone Wars now. So shh. Because I made him.
Wow.
You should.
He's got a long journey ahead.
Yes, he does.
Lily Kay, where's it landing for you?
I'm gonna be the salty one again.
Salty. Blue booty salt shaker.
Yeah, like, you know, there's still no blue booty, which it was expected. So like, you know, it's okay. I did say a few things in our previous episode that I wanted this episode to be, and it wasn't really. So I was like, I was again, I shouldn't be expecting things. That's just a lesson for me. Like, you know, I should stop.
Stop it.
Like we sort of got it, but not really. And I was like, but anyway, I will right now at the very beginning highlight that. Oh no, I can't because that's spoilers. Okay, then when we got there, shit. when we get there,
She's
I'm
like,
gonna highlight
give it
one
to me.
She's ready for spoiler territory.
I am ready. But yeah, no, it was good. I will say this, contradicting what Brandy said, that I don't think, like, you know, sure, I wanted to, it would have been cool to see this on the big screen, but at the same time, I'm like, is this really the episode that they went with to put on the big screen? That's how I'm gonna put it.
Yeah.
I think it's because mid and it was directed by Dave Filoni. So that's probably
Yes,
why.
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, I did like it. So I'm like, you know, don't come at me saying that I'm just hating on it. I did really like it, and I shed a few tears as well. So shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Shut
yes,
up,
we
Tom.
couldn't get into it. Shut up, Tom. Also, fuck off.
Yeah, I would say that, we're coming off of those suspenseful episodes, for the last 2 episodes, and now we've kind of got this kind of calm where we're progressing things. So I felt, a lot of emotional moments, a lot of, excited moments as a fan of, Clone Wars and Rebels. So that was wonderful, and it was an Ahsoka episode. Like, we've been talking about, not a lot of Ahsoka in Ahsoka, and this was definitely an Ahsoka-centric episode, more Ahsoka than anything else, so, that was, that's my reaction. It's exciting to see an episode that is truly worthy of the title of the series. All right. If you haven't seen the episode yet, this is where you pause, and this is where you come back to the episode here of Ahsoka Chronicles after you've seen the episode, and then just indulge with us as we recap and react to this episode. So let's go right now. Spoilers starting. And since Lily K was so looking forward to the spoiler territory, we're going to open up with we're back on CTOS. Hera has arrived. We see Jason and Chopper, and they find Hu Yang, and he's holding Sabine's helmet. Where are your thoughts at?
It was a beautiful, like, just shot as they are standing on the edge of that cliff, basically. And I will say this right at the very beginning. If I were to direct this episode, it would be them at the beginning and only at the end. So I kind of hated the fact that they kept cutting back to them. But yeah, it was a beautiful shot, just gorgeous, gorgeous to look at. And it had a sadness to it as we finally saw Hu Yang. And I was like, oh, you're making me sad already? That's fun. Thank you.
And we don't yet have a reveal of actually what has happened yet
Yes.
to the people who don't know. Brandy, what are you thinking after that scene? Or were you feeling the emotion there?
I was just Hu Yang was so human in that moment,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
and it
yeah.
was just it really got to me because I was like, because he was just like, I told them to stay together. They never listen. And I was just like, oh, heartbreak. So yeah,
Mhm.
that part kind of hurt.
Ian, your thoughts?
It's a little bit unnecessary. I've already watched like the whole recap of it. That maybe open to the like all the snapshots between the sea and the woods, and then the half of the thing. I've literally just watched it all. You could just skip that bit straight into here. We're finding Huyang and going, oh no, my mates are gone.
And that was kind of the cold open. And
Yeah.
then once we're into it, we've got Ahsoka and Anakin back. So we're jumping back to that scene that we closed on back in episode 4. The one where we were all, are they in the world between worlds? What's going on here? And is she dead? Is Anakin dead? Is he actually really there? So many questions that we had. Uh, so we're opening in on the two of them, and they're going to dive into finishing training, apparently. So Brandy, what are your thoughts on how this played out right at the beginning?
I don't know. A lot of emotions there as well. Like,
Mm,
because I think Ahsoka wasn't sure what was happening.
mm.
And, it's Anakin's basically like, do you want to live or die? And I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? Like, how is that her training? But I guess she didn't understand either. So that's part of like how it rolled in to the next bit. So yeah, I mean, it was interesting. And I was still trying to figure out, like, is this Anakin or is this like just a figment of her imagination? Like I couldn't discern one way or the other at that point.
Lily
Mhm.
Kay, where were you on that? Were you pretty certain of where or was, or were you still questioning it?
It was weird. I will put it like
Mhm.
this. Like
Mm.
it's that obviously the Anakin and Ahsoka bits are the ones that I'm like, well, this was not what I expected at all. I will go into it more, especially towards like the end. No, I'm gonna go into it now. I don't care.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
fine.
let's
It's
do
fine.
it.
I will just go into it. They have such a huge history,
Yeah.
and obviously we talked about it in the last episode that Ahsoka has so many regrets regarding Anakin, and so many questions of what would have happened if she would have stayed. And I feel like that once again they missed a huge opportunity to explore that a lot more because I
Mm.
think it is also something that withholds her from being truly who she is. All that
Mm.
regret and knowing that Anakin went to the dark side and became Darth Vader, and they do like show that later on as well.
Mhm.
But like I felt like first of all it wasn't enough. Second of all, it just kind of didn't make sense. Like why what are we talking about? Like what's this training about exactly? Like I kept thinking
Right.
about it like so live or die. So she's obviously in between life and death, like, why are we
Right.
It's such a
what?
stupid question to ask as well.
Yeah.
Really,
Eh,
Yeah, Ian, did you make any sense of that whole live or die thing?
to be honest, I don't think she was in the world between worlds. I don't think
No.
that's that. What happened later in the episode made me think, nah, man, this is just a death person fever dream, like we've seen in so many other properties around the world. We saw it in
Mhm.
Guardians 3 that this late, and again, it's the same sort of choice that she has in this and in Guardians, where do you want to go or do you want to stay? Basically,
Mhm.
that's what it's saying. Maybe it's just imagery from things that she's already seen because she has seen the actual world between worlds, and she has seen everything else because it's her memories. It's not Anakin's, as we find out later in the episode. So
Mhm.
I just think it's more of a "Are you ready to stop fighting?" type
But that's
thing.
what
Right?
she's been
Mhm.
doing all along, just
All
fighting. Like
her
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
that
yeah, I know.
that was my problem. Like why are we talking about this? Like
Mhm.
I think it's more like, do you want to keep fighting? Like, do you want to keep fighting for these things, or do you just want to give up? I mean, that's kind of
Mm.
how I took it. Like,
Interesting, yeah.
either give up or keep going.
I have to say I agree that it was a little confusing right at first, exactly what this training was supposed to be about, and I definitely didn't think it was the world between worlds because that had distinct portals for people to go through, and there were no portals here, there were just these pathways, but at the same time, I'm like, "What are we seeing here? A projection or a memory?" And then I feel like we kinda, got that. Now I don't want I agree with Ian about the jumping back and forth a little bit too, because this is where
It was
we
literally, it was
yeah.
me.
No, it's like you jump it here, you're here, you're on the surface of the planet, and then you're in Ahsoka's thing, and then you're on the surface of the planet, and then you're just like yeah, it just there was a lot of cutting back and forth, so I totally agree with that. In fact, in my notes, I'd have a there was a Senator Organa reference.
Mhm.
I mean, did we just cut to the planet just to have a reference? Or were we going somewhere with that? What did other folks think of, while we're on that subject? We were cutting back and forth a lot, and I feel like we got a lot of good content. Do you feel like it ruined the pacing any, to cut back and forth? Lily Kay, you're nodding your head.
yeah, it did. It did. It really should have been just Ahsoka and Anakin, and that's it.
Mm.
That should have been like a long segment, and then just got back to, you know.
Gotcha.
I was like, why? Like, just to showcase that Jason that we already suspected, like, connected to the Force. Yay!
Yeah.
It didn't. We really didn't have to see how they're gonna find Ahsoka. Like, it wasn't
Mhm.
important. It was basically just, we have these characters here. We should do something with them. Okay, great.
But okay, but
Why?
Hera heard the lightsabers. That
Mm.
was interesting to me. Like after Jason like pointed them out, like is she connected in some way? That's very interesting. I thought it was
Mm.
interesting. It probably means not a goddamn thing, but I just thought it was cool. Whatever.
She's very suggestible. It's like, do you smell toast? Yeah, I smell toast. Yeah, I smell toast.
There was the Senator Organa reference. There's a Kane and Jarrus name drop, of course, and then suddenly Carson Teva just goes, "Okay." Like,
Jedi?
it didn't
All
really
right.
All right.
Cool.
He's been around the block. He knows what's up. You know,
He knows what the
someone
hell to do.
tells us there's a space wizard involved. He's gonna go, fine, whatever. You know more than me. You know.
Just have to accept. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. So my one thing that I wrote down was like, there's 3 fighters that seem to have survived, but I only saw 2 at the end of the last episode. Like, I'm sure that there was like a squadron of like 5 and 3 got destroyed with the holdo maneuver, as people like to say. But there's like 3 in the search party, and I just thought it was a bit weird.
They forgot.
Interesting.
They forgot.
I'll be interested on the rewatch when we rewatch
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna have to start counting fighters like,
Yeah.
between the episodes. Getting into the Clone Wars flashback, and we're seeing a literal live action of the things that we've seen in the Clone Wars. So, Ian, I want to hear from you on your first reaction seeing this Clone Wars flashback.
So it was good. There was a lot of references there. There was a lot of Twi'leks running about. There was a lot of clones running about. Again, Anakin being weird, saying you got to fight. Well, no, he was well acted. I'm not saying that, Lily.
Okay.
You can tell he was just
Anakin
being a
being weird.
being a weirdo ghost / memory / whatever. I saw the little like toad tank in the background. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks like a bit
Uh-huh.
like a lizard thing.
Mhm.
That was cool.
Yeah.
If I'm being very picky, which I am, and budgets on everything, it's very misty. I can't see a fucking thing.
It's a memory, Ian. God damn it! Shut up, Ian.
I'm just saying, it looks a bit cheap. Like it feels like the clones are on like a repeat, and it's just the same clone running past her every 5 seconds.
Because they
Maybe
are
that's all-
clones, Ian.
It's
They
the
are
same
clones.
person.
They are clones.
Same person,
God.
man. God damn it.
This is what Tom feels like. Don't bully the British man. That's what he said last week.
But we don't listen to Tom, you know? Like,
Okay.
he's evil.
Yeah, we always listen to him.
Yeah. Well, I just think, it's a memory, or it's the world between worlds, or whatever. But a lot missed. Can't see much, and you could explain it by all the explosions and shit. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people allergic in this episode.
Mhm.
A lot of
allergies.
A lot of
yeah.
allergies.
Allergies, yeah.
Brandy, I know you were really looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing these flashbacks.
I mean, I fully like, yes, there was a lot of mist, but I took it as like it's just part of her memory, because like in your memories, you're not
Mhm.
going to see everything. It's like you're just going to
Mhm.
see like what's here, and then to me everything else would be missed anyway. So to me it's her memory as a young Padawan just trying to figure out what the hell she's supposed to be doing with her life and in these Clone Wars. Like this was not my training. This was not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to be a peacekeeper, and then this is the shit that I'm having to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like her just trying to figure out her purpose, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it's a memory, and I can only imagine like being in that situation and how chaotic it would be. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that like her emotions when seeing the clones like dying or hurt, like this was my fault. I did this. That was very much Ahsoka because she cared about every single one of those clones, even if it was the same clone running back and forth.
Yeah.
Ian,
Yes, Ian.
she cared about that one clone.
Lily Kay, I know you love Ahsoka. How did these flashbacks feel to you?
First I was pissed off because I was like, I want Rosario. But
Uh,
then, and this is what I wanted to mention in the non-spoiler territory, so I can now. Please, just please give all the credit to Ariana Greenblatt, who plays young Ahsoka.
oh
She
yeah.
played young Gamora. She
Oh
was
yeah.
in the amazing Love and Monsters, 65,
Mm.
Barbie, and the list could go on. She's an amazing, amazing actress. I'm
Mhm.
always blown away by her. I am so glad she's getting these opportunities to do these huge movies and huge TV shows and whatever. And she's great. She's great. I immediately recognized her. I was like, yeah, that's Ariana.
Whoop, whoop. Here I come.
I love you, girl.
Oh,
You're great. Up, up,
Ooh,
up.
ooh, ooh.
That's the one. She was fucking great. She captured how Rosario is playing Ahsoka perfectly,
Mm.
just
Yeah.
perfectly. So I was like, beautiful, gorgeous. Again, I that's when I was starting to think like maybe this is more like hallucinations and whatever. But then I don't know what we're doing in the word between words. Like, why are you introducing it like this to the audience who've never watched the animated ones because they're just gonna be confused.
Mhm.
Like, why is she standing all like lines and whatever? Never mind. It's so good. It's just, I love Dave Filoni, but I don't understand a few decisions he made here. I
Mhm.
was like, what are we doing? Like, like this could have been done so differently. It might be just expectations again, but I'm
Yeah.
like, why are we doing it like this? Why? Especially because if you look back at the word between words in Rebels, portals that they see through, that's the only credit I will give it to Ian right now, that you can see everything clearly. Like, it's all clear. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I'll be imagining things, but then why do we need the word between words? Why didn't like
do
why?
you think normies will actually think, "Oh, that's an actual place," or did it's just part of the like a fever dream, right? Because
Mm,
maybe you don't need to explain to normies what the world
Maybe.
between worlds is, because
Right.
no one's going to
Maybe.
Say
think it's
yeah.
an actual place.
Yeah.
It's just her dream death scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably. Maybe this was the best way to introduce it to those who've never seen the animated series.
Right.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But as someone who obviously watched it, it was like I didn't feel the need to be included if this all was just like in her head. Fucking love the interactions between them.
Mhm.
Hayden is just
mhm.
Yes.
fucking gorgeous. So good. I will say to all the haters on the de-aging, fuck off. There was nothing wrong
Oh,
with it.
Thought he looked good.
it looked great.
I
It
thought it
looked
looked
great.
great.
So I'm
Mhm.
like, shut up, everyone, shut up.
And the mist
Yeah,
covered the rest, so whatever.
yeah,
True.
whatever. Um, yeah, but yeah, that's my nitpick with it. Like, again, felt like it could have been done differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So Ahsoka had a Gandalf moment.
yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm right there with you on these flashbacks. I I feel like it's definitely more the forced dream kind of experience. Like she
Like a
wasn't
near death
actually
type thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing, and so I guess I can totally vibe with what you're saying, Randy, about, if it's a dream, you're probably only seeing certain aspects of that dream at any given time, and, uh, but I was really impressed at the way they captured the visuals in the costuming
Mm.
as well as the makeup. They even changed Anakin's hair,
Mhm.
between the 2 flashback eras,
And her headdress.
and
Yeah.
her headdress, exactly. I was I mean, there was, like, no doubt what time period I was in when I saw it as a fan, knowing that those were the costumes. Yeah, and, of course, she jumps forward in time to the Siege of Mandalore. And we get Anakin reacting to that as, "I don't know this place." And then she mentions, "Yeah, you weren't here." So so now we're having to explain that this was not something they experienced together, but he's there. Um, I'm not sure I was totally feeling the need to be there with Anakin, if that makes sense, since it was her, but, uh, Ian, what were you thinking when we jumped forward to Siege of Mandalore?
I love the Mandalorian, but this was the perfect opportunity to get Sam Witwer, and they didn't do
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
They didn't do it
yeah.
again.
Once
Um,
again.
yeah, it was weird. Like Anakin was like, "I wasn't here," and Ahsoka went, "Yeah, no, you weren't." That was
Mm,
the whole of it, really, wasn't it? Really, you didn't see it. You saw a few Mandalorian helmets on the ground, the
Mhm.
Death
yeah,
Watchy type ones, but
with
it
Spike.
was just more of the same mist and cloned Mandalorians.
Well, okay, what were you thinking?
Again. Again. I can't. I
Right.
I don't know if I'm disappointed.
Mm,
I think I am a little bit. A lot. I don't know. It's a very conflicting feeling because you start showing this, right? And you
mhm.
see all the Darth Maul helmets and whatever. And I was like,
Right.
stupidly,
Mhm.
because I still haven't learned from my old mistakes. I was like, oh my God, are we gonna see him? Like, ah, fuck
Nope,
no. Like, what who am I kidding? Who the fuck am I kidding?
you
Of
haven't
course we're
learned.
not. I haven't learned a fucking thing.
You will get
Thi-
nothing.
no,
A thing.
like because
Not a damn
because
thing.
come on, like my thing was, if this is her memories
Mhm.
and we had a memory that Anakin wasn't involved in, but
Right.
we know that it was Darth Maul
Yes.
who first told her that it's gonna be Anakin who's gonna
Mhm.
turn.
He is the key to everything.
And I was like, oh my God, why why
Why
why
tease it? Why
Mhm.
why
tease it?
Dave Filoni, you made that. You fucking made that, and then
But then he pulls out his red saber.
oh, fuck off. Like,
I'm just
that was
saying.
so predictable. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah, of course it's predictable. But I thought it was a good turn because that's the point when she found out that he was going to be turning from Maul. That's all I'm
fine,
saying.
maybe. Fine, fine. It's the soul that built up, okay? No blue booty,
You're
no
just
Darth
upset
Maul,
Maul's
no
not there,
Sam
but I'm
Witwer.
just
Yeah, I
saying
am. I
that
am
was her
very upset.
memory.
It's true.
Brandy, are you thinking that maybe, Anakin was then the substitute for Maul in terms of facing that evil?
even even though Ahsoka was fighting Maul at that time at the Siege of Mandalore, her thoughts were always on Anakin in my mind. Because as soon as Maul said something about him, she's obviously thinking about Anakin. You know, they were always attached at the freaking
Mhm,
hip. And
mhm,
that was why it was such a big deal for her to walk away from him. Like it
mm,
was huge. And then when Maul said he's turning, essentially, like that was her memory. Like it was always on Anakin. That's just my thought.
mhm.
And that's why I think that that's what came back in her memory. Not Maul, but Anakin with the red saber and the red eyes.
Okay, fine.
Interesting.
You convince me. Okay, I admit.
Brandy is selling her ideas right here on Ahsoka Chronicles. I was loving some Death Watch and Mandalorian
Mhm.
stuff in that flashback. It was so good. Yeah, the turn. I guess I kinda expected it was gonna happen somewhere in this flashback, that we were gonna see a Darth Vader switch over.
The flashes, like
Yeah,
like Vader
That was
back
so
to
good.
Anakin, Vader. I was like, ooh, goosebumps every single time they did it. Ooh.
ah,
Especially like in the early Clone Wars when he was walking away from her
Yeah. Oh,
in the
that was such a
mist,
cool one.
Ian,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like
In the mist.
yeah, in the flashes of Vader's
Yep.
cloak, and I'm like, ooh, goosebumps.
I
Sorry.
guess my one last, before we jump out of uh, the flashback with Ahsoka, I wanted to ask, did it turn out kinda like you were thinking it might by the time that we got to the end, or
No.
did it surprise
Oh
you?
no.
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 Oh, that was a big no. Brandy, we're going to you first.
I I think I'm with Lily on this one because I have a feeling she's thinking the exact same thing I am. I was
Probably.
hoping for a more heart to heart. Like I was hoping
Hmm.
for more of a conversation, more in depth, not just like, "Hey, do you want to live or die?" Obviously, I want to live. But okay, I get it. It's her memories. It's not really him there. So I guess in a
Mm.
way they can't have that conversation unless she's just making this shit up in her head. But I would be fine with that. Like, I mean, hey, Ahsoka, forgive your fucking self, man,
Mhm.
Right?
for walking away from him. But,
Yeah. I was
yeah,
hoping for that. Yeah.
I that's what I was hoping was just more of an Obi-Wan moment,
We
I
didn't get a,
guess.
hey, guy, it's not your fault.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
it's
Right.
not your fault. Come on.
Right. Let
It's
her
not your
off the
fault.
hook.
It's not your
Mhm.
fault. And then crying. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian, is that what you were looking forward to as well?
No, I mean, I'm catching the salt here. I don't really understand the point of most of this flashback, apart from seeing Hayden Christensen as Anakin again.
That's the reason, Ian.
That's
That's the whole reason, right?
Give
wow.
us
Yeah,
Hayden
And the
fine.
mist.
and the
It's a
mist.
lot of mist, but like I don't have. What has she actually learned from this? Like,
She
there's
wants to
nothing.
freaking live. That's what she learned.
Did she not want to live before?
I don't
I,
know. Maybe she was ready to give up, Ian.
I don't know. I don't think she's grown that
She's
much.
probably
It
just
was,
like, fuck this shit. I'm done. Sabine's a twat. I'm done. And
but she didn't
just,
know at that time that she is
oh
being.
no, she knew. Sorry.
In her heart of hearts, she knew that she wouldn't pull that feckin' trigger, and
She's like, okay, I'm just gonna fall off this cliff. Fuck this shit.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Ah.
It was lovely to see, as in like, oh, I see things that I know, but I don't know how much growth that she does apart from I want to live, which is where she was before she went into the sea. So
She seemed a little angry and a little distracted
Mhm.
before she went into the sea, in
Mm.
my mind.
Mm.
She seems clearer now that she's
Mm.
had her Gandalf moment.
Lily
mm,
K, any closing thoughts on the flashback? I'm just seeing this expression going, I wanna know what's in her mind right now.
She's
Just look
cursing me.
at it. Yeah.
I would never do that. You're not Tom. um, Here's the thing, right? So if you look at it as a memory and
Mhm.
just being in Ahsoka's head, it still doesn't make any sense because she would have regret. She would be fucking just cloud nine because she's seeing her old master as she remembers him. Instead, I didn't feel much of an emotion in there. I was like,
Mhm.
they have this fight where Anakin is like his evil self. And it's cool and it's fucking great to look at and I loved it. And then nothing. And then the only takeaway is that I choose to live.
Mm.
Okay. But you have
Yeah.
you have such a huge history with this man. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Like,
Yeah.
if even if I look at it as something that really happened and wasn't just in her mind and just, and in a between life and that situation, it still doesn't, it definitely doesn't make sense then, because if it's Anakin's force ghost or whatever, then no. But
Yeah.
then again, if we look at it as a memory or a hallucination, it still doesn't make sense because Ahsoka is like, oh God, it's such
Oh, I can
such a
just see the
fucking
strain going
it's
on right there.
oh,
It's a bit of a mind fuck. Yes.
it is. It is because I really think, and I never thought I would say this to Dave Filoni. It's not like
Mhm.
he's gonna watch this or whatever, but like if the chance was there to
Yeah.
do something very great with this,
Mm.
and while it was still fucking awesome, especially for Hayden, um, it didn't do anything to Ahsoka's character. Nothing at all.
Mm.
Nothing. Oh yeah, she's now in Bite. She was already in Bite at the end of Rebels, so sure, yeah, yay. Uh, like I feel like that there was so much more here,
Yeah.
so much more, and it just especially when she defeated him, and I was like, say it now, like why did you have to turn to the dark side? Like what did I do wrong? Something.
Mhm.
No, oh,
Mhm.
so you
Mhm.
choose to live? Okay, fuck off then. Go and live. And I'm like, hold on. Is this how you're gonna end this? I don't know. So like I appreciated these scenes very
Mhm.
much. But then again, such a fucking huge missed opportunity.
Mhm.
Just huge.
I have to wonder how much was left on the cutting room floor with that.
Probably a lot.
How, you know, from the writing perspective, how much got cut out, and then after they filmed, how much got cut out.
That another Obi-Wan moment, would we appreciate it as much? Because we had our big Obi-Wan moment. Like, did we really need one in Ahsoka too? Because would it feel cheap?
So Anakin didn't have
Mm.
to say I forgive you or anything. All you needed was the Ahsoka part of it to
Mhm.
question everything with an Anakin going, "You already know the answer," or something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
because
something.
that's personal growth, that she's realized something about her time with Anakin and going and letting herself off the hook, because like at the time that Anakin went, she was fighting a fucking war in Mandalore, and she couldn't have saved him if she tried. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the fact, and in when we go back, that it is thanks to Jason that we find Ahsoka. So I don't know what that's going to lead to in the future, but yeah, that's interesting. So I want to look at this rescue and see how, what resonated with you about this rescue and about Ahsoka after the rescue. And I know uh, we have a lot of thoughts on different things about this sequence. So let's go to Ian first on this one.
imagery's cool. Like, she's like suspended in the water, lights
Mhm.
on her, and then more lights on her because the ship turns up and drags her out. And then when she
Mhm.
wakes up, lights on her again because the sun comes out, apparently. But the imagery's cool, but like that, and that's about as much as I've got to say in terms of resonance.
Brandy, what are you thinking with this sequence?
She woke up. I don't know. She seemed very confused, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe more at peace. Who knows? I
Mm.
guess we'll see.
Lily K, what are you thinking?
You wanna know?
Go for
You
it.
sure? You sure you wanna know? I
Shit.
again,
That is what we're
again.
here for.
That's true. Again, easy. That this we didn't need to see the whole. We're gonna pull you out of the water thing, because it was just like Anakin. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great, fucking awesome. What else? Nothing. Don't. Here's a note. Don't take down the headpiece. It was weird.
Oh,
Yeah, it did
that
look
was
a
a little
little weird.
jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, why? Like, put it back. Please put it back. Thank you. Yee. But yeah, it
Bravo
was
to the makeup artists on that day, right?
Yeesh.
great work.
It wasn't
Yeah,
creepy at all.
not at all.
No.
You makeup artists are great. Like, it's we're not, but like, Jesus. It's like, why? It's gonna be an image in my head for the next dream or nightmare. It's okay. But yeah, it's again, not much to say.
I
Brandy's
don't
gone.
understand why that's the nightmare. Ahsoka without a headdress.
Was it blended?
Nightmare.
Like,
No, it wasn't even blended. It was like a straight line of.
That was yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, it was great, so good. But again, huge missed opportunity. The second she came out of the vision or whatever it was, I was like, yeah, they're gonna use the burgers. But then why didn't they think of that before? I'm like, sure. It's a bit of a. I feel like that they wrote themselves in a situation where they couldn't get out of easily. So they were like, fuck, we have burgers, so we might as well use them. And I'm like,
Of course.
they've been why the fuck did we need the map? Why?
Mhm.
Grab a fucking burger, go into its fucking mouth and fuck off and find Ezra and Throne. That's the most important part. And then that's
course.
it. You're done. You don't need the map. And I'm like,
But how did she know she could talk to them?
exactly. That's the other thing as well. I was like,
I mean, Ezra could, but there aren't a whole lot of
When
Jedis
she woke up, she
that
became Dr.
apparently-
Doolittle.
Right.
yeah,
Gandalf.
Mhm.
maybe that was the gift
Yes.
Anakin gave her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Anakin could definitely do that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Ahsoka the White.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka
Ahsoka
the
the
White.
White. Right.
So yeah, it's like, yay, you wrote
Anakin the
yourself
Balrog.
into and like here.
On a bridge that he destroyed and made her fall. Oh my God.
Mm.
Yeah. We're gonna put like there's this guy on TikTok who's using the music from Gandalf's death and putting
Oh.
it on the scenes in Star Wars. I'm just
Oh,
gonna do that here. Like,
Why not?
it's just gonna fit like, oh,
Mhm.
You
Oh,
shall
no.
not pass.
you shall not pass. Done. That's it. That's what we're gonna do.
Love it.
Done deal. Yeah,
Run your
it was
balls.
Oh, Ahsoka the White.
run your balls. Again, what I would have done in this situation is that they clearly can't go after them because the map is destroyed. They show it like 3 different times to make sure that you understand the map is destroyed. We get it.
Mhm.
They can go after them. Why didn't they just come back? Like, that's what I would have done. Like, there's nothing they can do. Like, it's pretty obvious from what we learned, even as like if we are casual viewers of the show. I'm like, okay, so they can't do anything because they fogged off into another galaxy and they don't know where they went. So they just have to wait for them to return. But no, there's suddenly a solution that no one thought of before. Even though that is exactly what Ezra did, and they also owe him to that.
I thought it was interesting that Ahsoka sort of used like a force echo on that map to try and figure out what had happened when she
That was
wasn't
good.
there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
A Jedi survivor for
Yeah.
Fallen Order type stuff. That was great
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then
She's
she just
very
looks
good at
up and
that.
goes,
Yeah.
"Ooh, whales."
Mm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm now already afraid that what I talked about in the last episode, that Sabine needs to face consequences for this decision. That's not going to happen.
Not in
That's
this
not gonna
episode, no.
happen. No, it's not going to happen at all. I'm pretty certain
So
of
you
it
think
because
they're
Ahsoka
just
is
going to be
like,
like, "Oh, Sabine, it's okay.
it's fine. You
You're
gave them the map,
not a
yeah.
turd nugget."
Yeah.
So
So I'm
once
like,
again, she does something and there's no consequences.
I'm not trying to think of the next 3 episodes at all. I'm just like, okay, whatever happens, happens, and I'll react to it when it happens, good or bad.
There will
Yeah.
be blue booty in the next one that way. I'm thinking.
I mean,
God,
yeah,
it's
they've got to
It's
get
gotta
there
be, right? They gotta get there. We've gotta
Mhm.
have
because we've
some
got to
baby.
build up to the
yeah.
movie.
I need my baby with long fucking hair showing up, be like, I'm back, bitches. Yes, yes, master. Done.
So let's go around and just wrap up thoughts on how this has ended and where you think we're going next. Brandy, where you think we're going next? What are your final thoughts on jumping into the hyperspace with Pergo here?
I mean, I don't want to make any assumptions for the next few episodes
Right.
because it's everything I've thought. Shut up, Ian. Before has just not happened, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, fuck it. Like, I mean, this was a good episode. I did enjoy it. I still have a lot of questions, but I'm just gonna let them play out because something's gonna happen in the next 3 episodes. If it's anything like Rebels, like a lot of shit's gonna go down in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for it. They've gone to the freaking next galaxy. We've got to have like Morgan and Balin and Sabine in the next episode. Like, I mean, they gotta be there.
Well, okay, you've already kind of talked us through where you're thinking on this. Anything that you may have missed mentioning?
No expectations at this point. I'm just gonna watch it play out. Sure, I am a bit worried about a few things. Still, they are still there. Look, we had like theories and whatnot, and there was no point to them. So I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stop.
That
No,
got blown
no
out of the
more.
water.
Yeah,
The water and the
Fucking-
light and the mist
Yeah.
In
and
the mist.
whatever.
and,
Well, excuse me for having an opinion.
and the clones. Don't forget that.
And
Yes,
copy,
and the
copy and paste
same.
them. Yeah.
Clone.
So again, I'm just I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say that I wait for anything other than Throne. That's
Yeah.
the only thing at this point. I'm like, fucking bring him in finally, please.
Yes.
I beg you, fucking bring him in. Like it's not that hard. It's
Your
not that hard.
pontiff has spoken.
Yes, I have spoken. The blue booty calls.
How cool would it be if Thrawn rides in with his long flowing hair and his chaps, but with a saddle on one of the smaller Purgil, like a boss going, "Hey, cowboys!"
Yeah,
Ew.
I have arrived.
Ian, you've had some theories in your articles that were not quite the same as some of the ones we've talked about on the podcast. How are things by the end of this episode shaping up for you?
I mean, that's exactly. I mean, we're pretty close to where we thought we were going to be at the end of this
Right.
episode, which is no further to Thrawn yet, but like on the way potentially. I mean, where are we going? I don't fucking know. We're just hitching a ride, guys.
Yes, we are Ahsoka at this point. Like,
What if
I
we
don't know.
go to a
Let's
different
go.
fucking
We're
place?
going.
They
Where
just go
we're
to a
going.
different galaxy altogether, and they go, "Ah, man, we fucked up. We don't know
Yep.
where to go here now." And
Eventually, we'll get there.
I don't
she
know where
just-
we're going, but we're so happy about it.
Ahsoka's like, "Ooh," because that's how whales speak, and then and the whale goes, "Ooh," and you go, "Okay, cool, we'll go there.
Yeah.
We'll hitch a ride with you." In the next episode, I expect they'll be there.
Where?
Exactly.
Wherever.
No idea. And it'll
Wherever.
be,
They're supposed to
That
be
that
possibly.
galaxy's
Wherever.
probably going to be a
Wherever.
shit show because they won't have a budget to make really good cities and shit. So
Missed.
it's going to be a lot of mist, maybe a few rocks,
Fire.
maybe a
Junk.
Tatooine planet with sand because we all love sand.
Uh,
Or hear me
It's
out.
right
hear
in
me
your
out.
crackles.
It's just gonna be a blue planet.
or there's no planets at all, and it's the wreckage of the fleet, and he's just still it's just raiding the pantry for the last
that's it.
however many years.
Or they eat the others.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
but we've got
frightening.
Cannibal Thrawn and Ezra now, are we?
I'm
Whatever
still
works, man.
Look at how excited
like-
Lily is about Cannibal Thrawn.
anywhere.
I will join you, Master. Let's eat some people.
Oh, yes.
Jedi for dinner.
His brother already played Hannibal Lecter, so I'm like, I can join him.
Oh, there you go. Truth.
I don't mind. Anything for you, baby.
She wants to eat someone's. No, I'm not
Ass.
going to say it.
Oh my god.
You went there. You went there.
Wow.
I didn't. Let the
Wow.
record show that I did. I stopped, and Lily carried on.
I mean, that's usually what happens.
Well, now last week, Drew got rudely interrupted by some very stinky flatulence. So
It's
let's
disgusting.
try once again to see
A witch
what
cloud.
Drew-
That's what it was.
let's try once again to see where Drew is on this episode of Ahsoka.
Hey there, Ahsoka Chronicles. Drew is back. I survived the last one. Okay. It's awful. It's kind of smoky in here. Anyway, this episode, a little slow. I'm not going to lie. Kind of bored. But listen, it did a lot of good work. And the person who played the young Ahsoka, Tano, can we just get the prequel series going? Right? And let's just get Hayden Christensen back. Full series swap. Let's do this. And then let's hop on some space whales and go to another galaxy, right? It's lightsabers? What is happening right now? This is like, I'm in like some weird dreamscape. I don't know where I am right now. I'm kind of scared. It's scary here. I'm gonna need help. Come find me. I'm in the ocean.
Oh, that fucking missed again. That fucking missed.
It's taking people away since 2023.
So let's go around and see how we're rating episode 5 of Ahsoka here. And we'll start with Lily K.
I'm not heartless before anyone comes for me. I'm not. I just made this mistake of having expectations, which I've now learned from, so I will just drop them. So I'm going to say that it was still a good episode. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be, but I am very appreciative of Hayden. He's fucking great. He fucking nailed it. I that's the only expectation I have, that I really hope that he's still going to show up at least once more. But for real this time, if we look at this as a memory, that's it. That's all. And then I'll shut up about expectations. Ariana Greenwald, fucking great as young Ahsoka. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 because I have a heart. Where's my blue booty, though? That's the question.
We're
That's it.
still missing the blue booty. We're not going to get past that 8 point
No.
until we get it, are we?
Episode 7.
No. Ian, shut up.
Well, he was
Shut up.
nicer than Tom on that one.
That's true. That's true. But still, shush. Shush.
Ian, what's
Hey.
your rating?
I feel like I've been nothing but negative throughout this whole show, and
It
then I'm
happens.
still
Lay
gonna
it out
say
there. Be honest.
I fucking
Yeah.
love the show. Like, it doesn't matter to me if I've got lots of criticisms, because I'm always going to pick up the criticisms. I'm British. That's what we do. So like a 7.5 probably. We still got some Master versus Padawan lightsaber action. We got some clones. We got some Purgle weird fucking in the mouth. I don't know.
Brandy, where are you landing on this?
I still loved the episode. Like, I still have
Mhm.
questions, but I still love the episode. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. I still had a lot of feelings. There were a lot of feels. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
As for me, I love the episode. I love the imagery and all the references to the Force and the different aspects of the Force. Whether it was looking at the echoes of the Force, or speaking with the Purrgil, or listening for those lightsaber sounds in the water. Just so many things touched on there. So for me, it bumped it up to a 9, for me. I was so excited to see Jason, you know, connecting with the Force like his father, because Kanan's one of my favorite characters ever, ever, ever. So all those little things that touch on that legacy, from Kanan, that bumped it up to a 9 for me, but I'm still confused as hell about what was the lesson she was trying to learn. If I had been more clear, I'd have it'd have been higher for me, for sure.
I'm hoping once we do like the watch through of all the episodes, it'll like make more sense. I'm hoping.
Maybe,
That's
maybe.
the hope.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, and there may be more to that wasn't shown that we get to glimpse at later. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm hoping that, we can at least see a Force ghost of Anakin or something.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Also, I will quickly put it out there. Just because
Mhm.
we're critical, it doesn't mean that we don't like it.
Yeah.
Just because this was like a constant
Right.
argument or whatever that,
Right.
like, why are you so critical? Because we still have fucking eyes and we can still think. And, just because you're critical
still
and
enjoy
also
it,
seeing
yeah.
the mistakes, you can still
Yeah.
be like, yeah, but this is fucking great. I still think this is fucking great. I
Mhm.
love that we're getting Ahsoka. And yeah, that's
Yes.
it. But I'm also
Absolutely.
critical. I
Same.
still love it. Critical.
I love
Yeah.
my
Wow.
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Always.
We just wanna see
More! God damn it.
see more. See more. Yes. Well, thanks for joining us here on Ahsoka Chronicles this week as we looked at Ahsoka episode 5. We will be doing this once again next week, for episode 6, jumping right in front of that TV and just absorbing it so that we can react, and have our own breakdown of the episode for you. And then Ian will follow up with an article on the website as well. So look for Ian's articles at CouchSoup.com. If you want to see this early on Wednesday, the podcast will be published at CouchSoup.com. So become a member. It's absolutely free. Not only can you get it early, but you can also comment, chat with us on CouchSoup.com about the episode. And if you miss it on CouchSoup.com early, you can always go in and watch it on YouTube on your podcast platforms on Thursday. So definitely stay tuned next week for the next episode coverage. And thank you so much. We are excited to see what's next. We only have 3 episodes left. It's gonna happen. We will get some blue booty. We'll
Blue booty!
probably get some chopper kills, and
Oh.
we will probably have much less mist to deal with moving forward. Thanks,
Let's hope.
everyone.
Thank you. And I was right about Marek. Yay.
Yeah.
Fuck off,
Oh,
Tom.
yeah.
But Tom as well, but also, yeah.
Come find me.